Alright, hey there, it's Barrett Boys Off-Road here. Going to give you an update on the front shackle reversal four-wheel drive conversion on this dually. Now before I begin, I want to show y'all what it looks like on a factory four-wheel drive compared to a two-wheel drive frame converted to four-wheel drive. We're going to take a look at this truck here. Show y'all a little bit about four-wheel drive factory versus aftermarket. Okay. Alright, so this is a stock four-wheel drive F250 that had a Dana 60 put in it by me. So on your factory four-wheel drives, you'll have a shackle up front, right? And there is the 5/8 bolt right in there, and your shackle pivots back and forth. That's why you have a little cutout there. And back in the back, alright, back in the back you have a solid mount that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rivets in the frame, and the track bar is mounted right there. And being that this is a four-wheel drive frame, it already had the mounts. I actually had the holes drilled for it already, so all I had to do was make a drop down plate and mount it up. And this had the 2.5 beam front suspension in it, so it had drop down there and on the other side. That's why that bolt holds right there. But I do not recommend, somebody said this in a video, I do not recommend using a independent front suspension F250 axle for this swap. It's easier if you use a Dana 60, because you don't have to worry about those center pivot brackets and mounting holes, because you have to take the motor out to mount the ones on top. Okay, this is the dually. So, you know that 5/8 bolt I was talking about? Okay, look up here. Right, up here. Oh, shit. Alright, so this is a two-wheel drive frame. It did not have a pivot point for a shackle, and it had the brackets on the inside of the frame. That one right there, that big bracket, that I had to cut a little bit off. Yep, right there. You see those marks right there? I had to cut that off to drill a hole for my track bar. So on the front spring hanger, this front, see this big bolt right here? That is mimicking or replacing that 5/8 bolt that front shackle pivots on. And the Sky Off-Road Design kit also has, or the frame boxing kit has a, what is it? Has a schematic you can actually, like, yeah, schematic you can, or a diagram you can put on the frame and mark your holes with a center punch and drill your holes. And it comes with 4 holes in the bracket. I drilled, crap, can't see it. Well, I drilled 4 holes out, and that basically gives you a front frame horn. Of course, I had to box in the frame over there, and that gives you a front frame horn for your leaf spring. On the back, you may wonder how I have it mounted up. I have it mounted up like so, like follows. So remember, on that factory four-wheel drive, there's the same bracket right here, same holes, 1, 2, and then 3, 4. Don't worry about the top one. You can't access it with the drill. You have to take the body mount out and cut this out, and you don't want to do that. So I have to drill one for the bottom. It makes 6, and you mount it in the same exact position as that factory, or that stock four-wheel drive. You punch your holes, bada boom, and a reverse shackle. So it takes a shackle from the front, makes it a solid mount, and puts it in the back, and lets you convert a two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive. And now somebody asked us about this too. They said, did you have to change, did the two-wheel drive steering work for a four-wheel drive? Yes, it did. You don't have to change anything steering wise besides, of course, the tie rod ends when you get your solid axle. So That's the factory 2-wheel drive pitman arm and the gearbox in there. Didn't have to unbolt anything, move anything, cut anything, shim anything, nothing. It all worked. Didn't have to do a lick. I changed everything on this front axle. What is it? Bearings, races, seals, grease, of course, all tie rod ends. Put some steering stabilizers on there that are used. Cleaned out the diff because it had water in it. And your shock towers. There's actually one hole right there. That bolt right there, there was actually a hole already pre-drilled for it. And all you have to do is line it up from there to right, of course, right there. And I think you want to put like a shock up there to make it look like it's straight, and then drill your other holes right there. And then I had to drill separate holes for the sway bar link mounts. Make sure you get the bracket, and there's actually a hole with a little hole right there, and you can bolt that in, and the 4-wheel drive brake lines will work for on a 2-wheel drive, because this is literally the same, it's just longer, and it's literally the same calipers. So there's the bracket up there again, leaf spring over there, and the track bar isn't mounted yet. And this is a key factor here. You're gonna have, if you have a 2-wheel drive truck, you are going to have to drill out 2 new holes for the track bar setup. And if you have a 7.3, I don't know how you're gonna do it, but I can't get underneath here. Oh crap, I can't. The clearance, there is a really tight clearance in between the motor, or the oil pan, and the cross member, and it's absolutely impossible to try to get a bolt up and behind there. But I think I can use a really small one to make it work. But yeah, that your actually center pivot bracket right up there, that hole, that's actually like a 5/8 bolt, so you have to drill that out to 5/8, and you can use that hole right there to match the track bar. And I still have the 2-wheel drive transmission in it, and of course, you know, everything else. And the cross member bolts onto these 3 guys, bing bing bing, and that's it. I don't know if I have to do any more manufacturing of this thing, but I think I will. So that's about it. I lifted the rear end with a 4-inch block. If you do this shackle reversal and add an extra leaf spring underneath factory springs, you're going to want to go to a 5-inch block on the back to make it level, because it's having a tendency to tilt to it right now. But that's all I've done so far. Oh, and for sway bar links, for longer sway bar links, I just bought some that go on the back, so you'll be good for that. But yeah, she still runs. She still has issues. I mean, I'm not going to be getting to it here soon because I'm broke from this and that 4-wheeler. That's another project. Quick tip on these Honda, or not these Honda, dadgummit, on these Yamaha Big Bears. This one is the 94. If you have issues with getting spark, definitely check the pulse coil that's attached to the stator, because that's what's wrong with that one. I have to buy a new one, and then it'll work. And don't buy one that has the stickers taken off of it, because that's just a world of pain. And one last thing before I let y'all go. Hopefully that info helped. I gotta keep it under 10 minutes, because if I don't, the video will never load. I got a new rear bumper for it. Hopefully I can put that bumper on it, because it looks a little bit better. I'll have to bend it out, and it'll kind of make the truck look a little mean. So once again, got to keep it under 10 minutes. This will be an upload. I won't upload it, you know, in a long time. But I know Thrize, I can't even spell his name right. Thrize is out there. I've listened to his, looked at his comments. I'll try to make videos more specific to your question, and I'll answer some questions too. I need to start doing that. That's what all these other guys and gals on the old YouTube are doing, you know, so why not I do it, you know? Plus it's helpful, and nobody ever does it to me when I ask them a question. So, oh, there comes the 10-minute mark. Gotta let you go. Thank you all for tuning in. Barrett Boys Off-Road out.